Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Mr. Doctor Who Fan 13 Doctor Who DVD review. And today we are going to be taking a look at Timelash. Yes, the infamous Timelash from the Colin Baker era. Requested by Kiebo the Geek. I think that's how you pronounce it. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologise. But Kiebo the Geek, thank you for requesting this DVD review. Actually, you know what? This is one of the few YouTubers whose videos I've actually checked out and really liked. So, I'm gonna post, or I post a link to his channel in the description anyway. Just sure for requesting a review. But I'd also like to give a recommendation for his channel as well, because he does some really good videos. He's done a couple of Doctor Who DVD reviews, but mostly unboxings and even a couple of overviews and stuff like that. Really well done. But yeah, he requested me to review Timelash, so I'm gonna review Timelash. So here we go. So we're gonna start out here, because this was released before 2010. We have the good old BBC DVD logo here. Doctor Who Timelash. Now on the front cover we have the Doctor there with, I've forgotten the villain's name there, but just that guy. And we have the actual Timelash in the background there with the stars from the opening title sequence, and just effects of background. It's rated PG. It's from the Colin Baker years 1984 to 86. Decent cover out there. Spine just got the same as usual, you know. Doctor Who Timelash, Colin Baker, UC to entertain, etc. Then pictures, we have the Doctor there with, I've forgotten his name now. I haven't watched his story in a while. Perry there, I think she's been held captive. The Doctor and someone else in the Timelash. And that guy, I've forgotten who they are now. But yeah. So, Doctor Who Timelash, starring Colin Baker by Glenn McCoy. The TARDIS gets caught in the Timelash. Yeah, he said it! Okay, I'm gonna stop. I need to stop saying that now. A powerful time corridor that brings the Doctor and Perry to the troubled planet of Carfel. The planet is on the brink of war and ruled by an insane and much feared dictator who punishes the Carfelans by throwing them into the Timelash. I'm not going to say that again. But why is their leader never seen in person? And what links the Carfel with a 19th century Scotland? The Doctor arrives just in time to find out. Special features, we've got commentary by Colin Baker, the Doctor, Nicola Bryant, Perry Brown and Paul Darrow-Tecker. The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. A new documentary looking at the making of Timelash, featuring contributions from Colin Baker, Nicola Bryant, Paul Darrow, David Chandler, Robert Ashby, and script editor Eric Saywood, writer Glenn McCoy, and Paul Lang from Doctor Who Adventures. Narrated by Terry Malloy. Radio Times listings, program subtitles, subtitle production notes, photo gallery, Easter egg, digital master picture and sound quality. This story was originally broadcast on BBC One between 9th and 16th of March 1985. Produced by John Nathan Turner, directed by Pennant Roberts, incidental music composed by Elizabeth Parker. Cover by Lee Binding, sleeve text by Moray Lane. Now got all the bookling information no one cares about there. So inside we have the production notes right here, chapter selection, it's a two-part story. Inside we have information on people who do commentary and special features. As well as all that, we have a disc for Doctor Who Timelash. Okay, now, before we get into this, I think you guys will most likely think that I am insane for what I am about to say here. Because, first of all, Timelash is considered to be, is said is hated by many Whovians and is said to be one of the worst stories in Doctor Who's history. You're all going to kill me for saying this, but I think Timelash is good. Oh, I can hear you all ranting now. I can hear you all unsubscribing and losing all respect for me just because I like one critically panned Doctor Who story. But I don't see what's wrong with Timelash. I admit it's flawed. It's like the Spider-Man 3 of Doctor Who. It's flawed, but it's not bad. But everyone seems to make a big deal out of it. Now, it's got its problems, I admit. We have I think the story is the plot, it's simple actually. It's good enough to follow. It's not great, but you know what? It's alright. But a lot of people say that they don't like this story because the effects are bad. I admit the effects are pretty terrible, and the sets are really bland, and even the Doctor Who production team said that this was one of the most... This was actually the low budget story of season 22, and as a result it had one of the lamest and most bland sets in Doctor Who's history. And the villain, my god, the effects on him are terrible. I mean, you can tell his face is messed up and he's part monster, but honestly, I admit the effects and the sets are terrible and bland. But it is an entertaining watch. The story is simple to follow. It's also actually pretty interesting because the third Doctor visited this planet in an adventure that we didn't see. Although I think it was brought up in a novelisation, I think it was either a novelisation or a Big Finish audio adventure that the third Doctor and his companion Jo Grant, the third Doctor and his companion Jo Grant were on their way to this planet. I've forgotten what it's called now, and I just read the back. But yeah. There's plenty of action going on as well. And you know what? It follows a similar premise to some of the greatest Doctor Who stories of all time. And sure, it doesn't do it as good as those stories, but you know, it feels like Doctor Who, and it's not like Love and Monsters where it goes completely as far away from the source material as possible. And you know what? It's actually, it's not the worst story of season 22. I mean, it's one of the weakest. I'd say it's probably the second weakest story of season 22, but it's better than the Mark of the Rani. Mark of the Rani is decent and is best Jane Baker script, but I feel as though it's pretty. It drags at times, but I think I already reviewed that DVD, so you know what? That's actually, if you want to know my opinion on Mark of the Rani, just go watch it. But Timelash is not bad. I actually like Timelash. It's not fantastic or great in any way, but it's a pretty good watch. And you know what? It's nice to see the character of H.G. Wells make an appearance in Doctor Who, writer of such classic novels like War of the Worlds and The Time Machine and The Invisible Man and stuff like that. It's really awesome to see a character in here that has been referenced actually quite a few times in Doctor Who. He was referenced in The Seeds of Doom, he was referenced in Pyramids of Mars, I think he was referenced was it the Talons of Wang Chiang he was referenced in? I don't know, but he's been referenced many times in Doctor Who, and it's great to finally see him in a Doctor Who story, and a pretty good one at that. So yeah, it's a good story, you know. It's a good story. It's not bad. It's pretty underrated. It's definitely it really doesn't deserve to be considered one of the worst Doctor Who stories of all time. And I think in Doctor Who magazine it was voted the second worst story ever made. It really doesn't deserve that. It's a pretty good story, and I at least recommend giving it a watch. It's not bad. It's if you want to start out your collection with this, if you're just looking for a good story, then you know what, this'll satisfy you. But if you're looking for a masterpiece like Genesis of the Daleks or the Robots of Death, or I don't know, the Dalek Invasion of Earth, then don't bother with this. But if you're just looking for a cracking story to start out with your collection with, then I do recommend this because it is pretty good. And you know what? I'm giving the story itself a 7 out of 10. Although, because of the DVD's lack of special features, I'm keeping it as a 7 out of 10. So, there's only one special feature as far as I can see in there that's not PC exclusive. But still, you know what? I don't see where all the hate is coming from with Timelash. It's watchable. You know what? It's better than say a Twin Dilemma. It's better than Terminus, definitely. It's better than a lot of the new series stories like Asylum of the Daleks and The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe and Love and Monsters and stuff like that. So you know what? I'd take Timelash over, say, the Twin Dilemma any day. It's not one of Colin Baker's best, but you know what? I'd still say it's a pretty decent story, and I'd recommend giving it a watch. I give this DVD release a 7 out of 10, and I give the story a 7 out of 10 as well. So, there's my insane opinion on Timelash. So that's going to be that for now, guys. This is Mr. Not 2013, the same word out. Next up, we are going to be reviewing the complete 6th series, so I shall see you then.